Hey everybody, Levi Clay back again for another vlog. I'm going to start off a bit of a warning today. You might hear a little bit more venom in my voice. And that's because, to be honest, I'm fucking angry. I'm insulted. Not just for myself, but for you guys watching this video. Because in dealing with some oxygen thieves on my last vlog, the idea was presented to me that my opinions aren't valid because I don't gig, because I'm not out gigging. I think the direct quote is, "You're not out touring, go and get a tour," right? Now, I have an album out at last, and I never thought I'd release an album because I always thought it was a lot of work, and with piracy being in the way it is, I figured that the result was going to be a fruitless endeavour, as it were. But I've pushed through and done it because for the last 5 years or so, all I've heard from people is, "Who are you to speak? Where's your music?" Right? I've released music, and now what I'm getting from people is, "Why aren't you touring? Go out and get a gig. Do what real musicians do and gig." Now I find that fucking insulting. Not, as I say, not just for me, but for you guys as well. Because this definition that musicians should be out touring, you're not a real musician unless you're out touring, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? I'm in a position whereby I have put music out and people are really fucking enjoying it. But let's just wipe that from the slate, right? I don't care what you do as a musician, right? If you sit at home and you record demos and post them online, you're a musician. If you sit at home and you strum a guitar and you write songs and you never record them, you are a musician. If you sit at home with a metronome and you practice your licks, you are a musician. As simple as that. And don't let anybody ever take that away from you. So I was speaking with my good friend Mike McLaughlin, who plays for the band Party Cannon. If you click there, you can check out some of their music. It's quite extreme. Mike is a fantastic musician, and his band have achieved relative success. He's out doing tours, and it was Mike that pointed out to me, or Mike that got initially quite angry at this idea that by gigging you're somehow a more qualified musician, you somehow have more opinions. Like, times are changing. We live in a society today whereby guys like myself, or Rick Graham, or Tom Quayle, or Rob Chapman, or hell, even guys like Justin Sarnico, you know, Justin being the master of the internet thing, can make a living without having to go out and do the gigging thing, right? If it was viable to go out and do the gigging thing, I would go out and do the gigging thing. Now, Mike's band, Party Cannon, is very viable for them to go out and do the gigging thing, so they go out and do the gigging thing. I'm not shitting on guys that go out and do gigs. If that's your bread and butter, fucking brilliant. I'm really happy for you, and when you're in town, I will come and see you, because I love live music like everybody else. But the reality is, it doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're playing this, you are a musician. Don't let people take that away from you. Right? So whether you're out gigging to hundreds of thousands of people playing fucking covers, and we know there's plenty of you guys out there, you're doing big tours of covers, or you're going out and playing shows to 200 people playing extreme death metal, or you're just like Lyle Watt, who's out gigging all the time, or Jack Gardner, who's out gigging all the time. These guys, they do their thing, and that's what they do, and fucking good for them. They are musicians of the highest fucking caliber. But don't you ever try and take away from what guys like Tom Quayle do, or like what I do. I'm very serious about this. Music and entertaining is what I get a great deal of passion from. And I don't care if that's me listening to music and transcribing it, or going out and playing shows, or releasing music, okay? You guys are all valid musicians to me, and I do not care if you're just posting videos on YouTube and sharing them on the internet. I value what you do, you obviously value what you do, and don't let anybody else take away that value from what you do. What do you guys think though? Are you a real musician if you're not out gigging and out playing tours? I'd love to know your thoughts on the subject. Drop them in the comment box below. And of course, if you've got any suggestions for any other vlogs, anything else you'd like to hear me get fucking angry about, suggest them and I will consider how viable they are. Until next time, you can read my shirt, back I will be.